Hi, this is the Cat's Library, and I'll be your librarian today. This is a series where I practice drawing animals, and today, going alphabetically, I am on to X. I regularly draw foxes in my sketchbook, but it's never bad to study a reference. I was having some trouble with my editing software back in December, and so I lost a bit of the speed paint. As a result, I made this little fox animation. I didn't really feel like filming any of the drawing portion for this, but I worked on it a bit while I was working on the Redrawing My Childhood Superhero OC video. Now, on to the fox drawing. Engage speed paint. Now, foxes are one of those animals that I think people generally know a decent bit about, so I'm going to keep the animal facts portion on the short side today. This is a red fox, which is one of the most common fox species. It is found on multiple continents, though it's banned from New Zealand. It knows what it did. They either live in a group of a mated pair and the kits, or one male and several females. Later on Wikipedia, it said that there was a mated pair and several subordinate foxes who also live in the same territory. Subordinates could be the grown-up kits or one of the pair's exes or something. They are mostly carnivorous, though considered an omnivorous animal. They can go vegan for parts of the year when meat isn't available. Red foxes have intense rivalry with every other fox species since their habitats tend to overlap. They are born dark brown and very round and stubby and eventually gain their fox-like colors and sharper shape as they get older. They are born with blue eyes that turn amber as they grow older. A female could have her first litter by the time she is 1 year old. In captivity, they can live to 15 years. They have a vocal range that spans 5 octaves. I don't know how to get public domain audio of a fox noise. Foxes have historically been hunted for sport and hunted as part of the fur trade. In the modern day, foxes are sometimes kept in farms where they are used for their fur. This involves breeding foxes for more interesting fur patterns and colors. Foxes do not make good pets, unless they have been specifically bred for personality. That takes 10 generations, and I'm pretty sure that was only as an experiment to see how long it would take for an animal to be domesticated, and not as an attempt at mainstream pet fox distribution. Sometimes people will take fox kits because they can't see the mother around and try to adopt the fox, but it doesn't end well. They will destroy your house. I want this to be a short and easy to make video, so I'm not going to rattle on about foxes anymore. I am going to start explaining the drawing now. I had 3 layers that I didn't get a recording of. I was working off of 2 of them that you could see at the beginning of the video. I did record the final sketch layer that I tweaked a bit since the back and ear anatomy were a bit off. I also paid closer attention to mark out the tufts of fur. I blocked out the color and also erased a bit of it because the sketch had a bit of an exaggerated silhouette. I then moved on to multiple clipping masks on the colors and the lighting. Notably, I used a low opacity soft brush in small strokes to get the direction of the fur down. Then I used a blend brush that I put on a lower opacity over that. I made a highlight version of the blend brush layer and a copy that I made a shadow layer. I've been trying to match the colors accurately this time, so I already had my soft shading baked into the color layers. Therefore, I made a few hard lighting layers. One of these highlight layers I made a yellow for a bit, which didn't look right, and so I made bits of it yellow and bits of it white to get that glowy rim light effect. Not sure how well that turned out in the final. I was looking back at my old fur drawings for the series, and I don't know how I got the fur to look so much better than all of these others. I guess I've been improving. I have planned to draw a yak for the next video, and now all this talk of fur is making me nervous about drawing that. Quick, onto the stories about foxes. I was thinking of doing the fable of the fox and the crane, but apparently I did it for the crane video. Guess we'll have to find something else. First, a different Aesop's fable. Once there was a fox who got his tail caught in a trap which snapped it off. He spent a few days in the fox hospital, and a few weeks where he didn't leave his fox house except for an occasional fox grocery store visits with a bag over his head. And when he had had enough, called a meeting at the Fox City Council. Tails, I say tails, are ugly and outdated, he said. The modern fox needs a streamlined appearance, more aerodynamic. Humans hunt us for our tails, so if we cut them all off and give them to the humans as a sign of goodwill, then we can form an alliance of everlasting peace. What do you say? Finally, the old press worker fox came forward. Hey, weren't you the guy who lost his tail last month? The speaker sighed. Yes, I am. After that came out, the speaker fox was jeered off the stage because he was obviously trying to pull everyone else down onto his level. Next, I'm going to tell a Japanese legend about a fox that turns into a lady, or vice versa. A beautiful woman was a servant of the emperor and worked her way up the ranks until she became his main advisor. She was highly intelligent. One day the emperor got sick, and some of the other courtesans suspected that the woman was involved somehow, probably because she was glowing in the dark. Bit of a non sequitur, but it did make sense at the time. The astrologer convinced her to come to the temple to pray, and she turned back into her true form at the shrine. Her true form was a fox, and she was hunted relentlessly by the government for reasons. Apparently, her being secretly a fox spirit kitsune was their business or something. She appeared in the emperor's dreams asking him to call off the hunt. However, he either couldn't or wouldn't do it, and she was shot. But that was okay, because she turned herself into a rock. A rock that would kill people who touched it. A Buddhist priest came and converted her to Buddhism, and freed her ghost so that she could have many more adventures. And that's it for today. Next video in the series is the yak video. Next video on the channel, I'm not sure if it'll be the yak video or if I'll make up something else to do. Anyway, I'll see you when I see you. Bye!